I'm Jen Davis from the Nature Conservancy's Virginia Coast Reserve and the Education Coordinator, and today we're out on Metompkin Island. We're out with Alex Wilke, our coastal scientist, who's going to tell you a little bit about birds. If you have any questions or if you're interested in anything specific, let us know. Alex is going to give us a quick overview.
Okay, hi. Like Jen said, my name's Alex. I've been working at the Nature Conservancy's Virginia Coast Reserve since about 2004. I'm one of our coastal scientists. As Jen said, we're out here on Metompkin Island, which is one of the barrier island properties that the Nature Conservancy owns and manages in coastal Virginia. Metompkin is actually jointly owned. The Nature Conservancy owns part of it, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service owns parts of it. So we jointly manage this island. And today, Jen and I, you can see behind me these vast shell flats and dunes. Today, Jen and I are out here monitoring some of the birds that nest out here. This is one of the busiest times of year out on the islands. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of pairs of nesting shorebirds and waterbirds. That's species like American oyster catchers, piping plovers, black skimmers. And part of our management for these islands is to be out here monitoring the number, how many of these birds are out here, and in some cases how well they're reproducing. And so we can take all of that information and track the populations of these birds so that we know how they're doing, and we can guide our management based on that information. And we share those responsibilities, like I mentioned, with our partners at Fish and Wildlife Service. We also have another crew on the south end of the island from the Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries. They're out here today monitoring piping plovers on the south end. So it really is a team effort. We're all out here trying to make sure that these remote barrier islands are the best that they can be for these birds. But we're also out here to make sure that the conditions are right for people to use the islands also. So most of the barrier islands that TNC owns in Virginia are open for public use. We call it low impact recreational day use, things like surf fishing and bird watching, picnicking. And what we do is we just try and tell people what the policies are so that we can make sure their activities out here don't negatively impact the birds. So next time you're out on one of these barrier islands, just remember that anywhere above the high tide line out here, chances are there's some kind of bird that's nesting. If not, maybe a diamondback terrapin. Jen and I have passed several terrapins today who are laying their eggs. So the best thing that you can do, and what we ask of everyone during the spring and summer months, is to stay below the high tide line. There's plenty of room out here to recreate and be at the water's edge, and you won't be disturbing the birds at all. And another important thing to remember is, we try and put a lot of signs out here to tell people what's going on with the birds, but we have about 50 miles of coastline that we manage for these birds. So it's really not possible to put signs up everywhere. So just remember that even though there might not be a sign, like right here where Jen and I are standing, you can't really even see a sign from here. The birds are still everywhere, and those policies apply to the entire island. So we also have some volunteer opportunities for people to get out and see these sites. They're remote. You can only get out here by boat, but occasionally during this time of year we recruit volunteers to come out and help us put up signs. So just be in touch with our office if you're interested in those opportunities, and we can send you more information. We also have more information about all of our island properties and our partners and our use policies on our website, which is nature.org/VCR.
Alex, what's a typical day like?
Yeah, a typical day out here monitoring these birds is usually walking about 3 or 4 miles on foot. We've been coming out here since April when the birds started nesting, so we've been tracking where all the nests are, where all the pairs are. So we go through each time we're out here and we check on the status of those pairs. So we check to see if the eggs are still there, we check to see when they hatch, and then as the chicks grow, we try to document how many of them fledge, which means how many of them reach the point of where they're flying independently. It's a lot. It's hard work. It's a day on the beach doing this isn't quite that easy. It's hot. It's sometimes there's no wind. There's tons of bugs. We're walking a lot. But the information that we get is really important and really helps us make sure that we're managing these sites properly.
What's your favorite part about your job?
Oh, my favorite part about my job is being out at these remote sites. And really, this is from April through August, this is my office. And you can see the landscape behind me, and this is where I spend most of my days all summer, all spring and summer.
Well, Alex, thanks so much. I'm going to give everybody just a quick view of the ocean. This is our office for today. If you have any other questions, comment, and if we can, we'll get back to you. Otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we will see y'all soon.